Hey, it's a Scotch Test Dummies with our Whiskey Wednesday. We found us a America's whiskey from south of the border.
Well, we should explain. America's whiskey doesn't mean just America.
That's right.
It means the North Americas.
Yes.
And we referenced once that generally means America and Canada. And I said we are, however, on the hunt for a whiskey out of Mexico. Now, some people did reference some of the different alcoholic beverages that come out of there. And we found a smoky mezcal.
You found smoky mezcal.
Tall Matt.
So,
Tall Matt.
I guess as you're watching this, if you don't think this meat is not a Mexican whiskey, let us comment.
Well, it's probably not a Mexican whiskey, but it's about as close as we're going to get. And because I went in and asked Tall Matt, I said, have you ever seen like a whiskey out of Mexico? And he goes, this is about as close as he knew. And boom, I bought it. Now,
also, I did just buy another. It's a tequila, but it's a Hornitos tequila that's been aged in bourbon barrels. How's that? Is that close?
That is very close.
Would that be a Mexican whiskey?
Well, we're getting close. I mean, it's probably still not quite a whiskey, but we're definitely in the ballpark. We've done brandies. Someday we're going to do a cognac. We've done a port. So we've done some things that are a little different anyway.
Now this is Delirio, is the distillery. Would you say? Delirio from Oaxaca, Mexico?
Yes. Bingo. I think you're saying it right.
Now actually, when we got this, we could not get the cork out.
Couldn't get it out.
It was wedged in there so well, and we debated if we needed to use a corkscrew on it. And Bart was finally able to
rock it back and forth. I was afraid it was going to break the cork off.
Man strength.
Yeah, the strength of man was used to open it.
This is a 100% agave.
Yes, right? Perfect.
It's not peated. No, it's smoked at some point of the process.
Yes,
it gets smoked.
Yes. So you don't have any kind of aging in a barrel or anything.
Oh no, still got to be aged in some sort of a barrel, doesn't it?
Not really.
No, it's clear. It would pick up wood coloring if it was in a wood barrel.
It would. If they left it in a wood barrel for a while, it would.
I can tell you, the smoke on the nose on this reminds me of just a charred barrel.
Yeah.
Though not a peat smoke. It's more like a burnt wood, like a charred barrel, basically.
Yeah, burnt wood with a little hint of sweetness and maybe menthol. I almost get a touch of menthol.
Salt?
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. A little brine. Yeah.
So where does the smoke come from?
If I remember right, they smoke the actual plant. They heavily smoke it, and then when they pull the juice out of it is where it's imparted the smoke into it. What are you getting on flavor?
I get smoke. Now, what's the difference between a mezcal and a tequila? There's a hint of a tequila, but not the strong, like something's different with it.
I mean, it does taste, it's got the strong smoke flavor, but it's smooth and sweet all at the same time. It's not punching you. And I love the smokies, which is why when I went to Tall Matt, he said, I think you're going to like this because it's not like a peated Scotch, but it is hinting toward it. I don't feel like it's so far removed. What was the Swiss dram that you tried? What was that? Do
you want to name it again?
Sure, name it again.
Santis?
Yeah, if you go watch our Flaviar, I forget which episode, we just opened and tried the Santis, and it did not sit well on Bruno's palate. This is not that at all. Well, for me, what do you get out of it?
The nose is really reminiscent of a Talisker. the brine, the salt, a seawater type, a little bit of smoke.
See, I love Talisker, so I don't know if I can compare it to a Talisker. But the smoke is even subtle. It's not like a smoky fire. It's like a deep earthen smoke. I feel like it was smoked in like there was a cave and they loaded it into a cave and smoked it in a cave. I don't know what that means.
Sorry, I'm looking up the difference between mezcal and tequila.
Okay.
So I was reading.
All right. Well, then I'm going to have to, this doesn't happen too often, but I'm going to try to carry the show with just my talk.
Right.
So I've got a Pittsburgh shirt on. That's reminiscent from when I went to Pittsburgh. I visited a little bar called Acacia there, not to mention I went to Wiggle. Wiggle's a craft distiller that's there. They've got a wonderful rye, and I think they've got a straight bourbon now, too, which I didn't get a chance to try. What do you got?
I'm still trying to decipher it because it says all tequilas are mezcal.
Yeah.
Tequila traditionally is from the town of Tequila. However, it's grown. You can now make tequila in 5 Mexican states.
Wow.
Tequila is made from agave that's steamed, where mezcal is made from agave that's roasted.
There you go. Look at that.
So, and it says, please be aware of the mezcal that has the worm in it.
What should we be aware of?
Because that's usually just a trap. That's the cheap stuff.
I would imagine. You wouldn't throw a worm in the good stuff.
Right.
Good. There's no worm in this.
It's a cheap mezcal that has the worm in the bottle. So.
No worm. This is great. There's
we're sitting. I haven't even added water to it.
No.
And I'm sitting here sipping on it. It's
clean.
Very good.
It's clean, refreshing. The aftertaste is a slight campfire smoke aftertaste that slowly fades. And there's a little bit of almost like a rich carameliness in the very, very late aftertaste that clings underneath and in the far back of my tongue. I like it. I really do. I would definitely sit down. What are you trying to decipher?
I was trying to see the alcohol content, and it's just barely visible on the top. 42%. It's very mild. I figured it was around 40%.
Huh.
So
there you go. You're going to dilute down?
Let's throw a drop of water in it and just see
dilution.
What happens.
All right. I am very pleasantly surprised with this.
Yeah.
The first time I had it, I was almost a little nervous. Thinking, what am I getting into here? Is it like white lightning? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, most people, or let's say there's a lot of people that don't like tequilas, and that's because they got so rip-roaring drunk on it at some point when they were younger, they can't drink it anymore. I never did that. I never got rip-roaring drunk off of tequila, so I can still drink it, and I love it. And that's probably why sitting here sipping on this isn't that bad. And I know there's even some good tequilas out there, and maybe we need to start
great tequilas out there.
Trying some of those.
Maybe not for a while. I know there's
and mezcals, tequilas and mezcals.
Yeah, there's some phenomenal things from south of the border, but so far I'm happy with what we're doing.
I would be afraid to use this in a margarita because it would mask the flavor.
I think you could do whatever you wanted if it was yours, but I definitely think it stands alone, and I wouldn't want to be mixing it into anything else. I think it's powerful.
Maybe lime. Maybe just add just a splash of lime juice to it. Maybe you take a lime wedge and put it on the glass. Maybe squirt in there.
Not for me.
Be good.
Not for me. But you know what? I think maybe a little bit of lime in your Johnny Walker Blue would be good. You could squirt some lime in there. See what that does.
That's the same thing.
I know it's not the same thing. Personally, I think I forget what this ran. I think it ran $50.
Oh,
yeah. And to me, it really does stand alone. Doesn't mean you can't mix it. Goodness knows you can take your dram however you want to take your dram. So this is premium mezcal.
It's Delirio de Oaxaca.
It's Joven.
Mezcal.
Means it's old.
Premium.
I like it. All right. Anything else you want to add in?
Nope.
Scotch it or mezcal it. You Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Dummies.